scored last minute, we conceded last minute, and all of a sudden we had to do a guard of honor. You know, when I saw in the change room and I said, guys, listen, there's no way I'm doing this next season. Somebody else got to do it for us.
Hopefully, under 27s, Kaizer Chiefs will do it for us.
It's an honour for Bidvest Wits, who have come to FNB Stadium to be crowned champions of the ABSA Premiership, and they have, humbly by Kaizer Chiefs, been gifted a guard of honour. In a 96-year history, Bidvest Wits are league champions for the first time.
Oh, he's deeply studying the footage there. You know, when you're there, you don't actually get to see it. It's probably the first time Gav's had an opportunity to see it. What are you guys saying on Twitter as well? So we asked you your favorite memories of the show over the last 4 years. And I've got here, he calls himself Real Tembagani, who says, when you hosted Ukhozi FM legend commentator Joe Hoodler, but overall, I've fallen in love with every moment of the show. Thank you very much. Tepo says, my best moments was when Shampunaiza had 3 dreadlocks with Madiba line, plus the top 7. Okay, all right. Spusi Sovu says, it has to be Dr. Jomo Sono's interview when he was promoted to the PSL. Ah, that was hilarious. Keep those moments coming through as we talk to the man who doesn't get promoted. He just stays in the PSL. He stays in the ABSA Premiership, and he makes sure the clubs that he's involved with stay there too. Coach, welcome to Sport at 10. How are you?
Thank you, Tom. Thanks for having me.
Should I say
nice
champ?
Late night. Yeah, sure.
Champ.
Got me out of bed.
New title here, champ. How is it? How did you do it this year? Because last season, you finished second. What was the difference? What was that thing this season that took you to the title?
Well, I think we had 1 or 2 more players that covered the areas and covered the bases a little bit more. I think that's the secret. You know, you can't do it without players. You can say what you like. Doesn't matter how good any coach is anywhere in the world. If you don't have the best players or the right type of players, you can't achieve. So the players certainly bought in. And we had a few more players that helped us when we went through the bad periods and the bad times.
But you bought basically a whole new team.
No, we didn't buy.
Well, brought in. Brought in. There was I counted it last year, something like 10, 12 players that came in the beginning of the season.
I mean, wherever I've worked, there's always been big player turnaround, not because of my own doing, but because of players being out of contract or whatever the situation is. I mean, over the years. So I've had a lot of players and a lot of turnaround, and it's been tough.
What was that thing this season? Because last season it was a landslide. Sundowns was gone by 14
listen,
points.
Sundowns were the best side last. There's no doubt. I mean, they were 14 points better than us. But to be fair, from our own perspective, the wheels came off with I think 10 games to go. We lost Papi Fati, we lost Pagamani, James Keane, and Tyson Latswayo in the matter of the last 10 games.
And that was what killed you.
Well, that's your spine. Your whole spine of your team went. You know, and we just couldn't. I think we made. In the last 9 games, I think we got 3 points or something. So that's why we lost by 14 points. But we were well beaten, so we had a look at the squad and try to get a few more in, which we were very lucky in the market. And we had to sell to get in, and so we went along.
Did you know that this was going to be that season? Did you get an inkling when you won the MTN 8?
Tom, when we played the top 8 game, I felt this team...
The final?
Yeah, the final.
3-0 victory over Mamelodi Sundowns.
The best African champions, I thought we had a chance. I looked at my bench and I said, any of these players on the bench could play in this team. And maybe I picked the wrong team here tonight. But I looked in the stands as well. There was 2 or 3 there could play in this team as well. And I knew if we could just keep this together, I think we got a chance. We had a chance, that's all. That's all.
And that point, you knew?
Well, I knew, I had a feeling, I think we could make more points than we made the last year. And we could certainly give Sundowns a closer race than the season before. I knew that, looking at the squad. And then come January this year, we had 1 or 2 extra, like Granville Scott came in, and he made a huge difference for us as well. So that was good for us.
Now, the other thing I need to know from you is, what's the secret? Because I was looking back at your history, and I don't think you've ever finished outside of the top 8. And it's not even that you've been at the big clubs. No. Hellenic, Black Leopards, Swallows. 5 seasons with Swallows, and every one of those 5 seasons, they were never outside of the top 8.
Never.
Supersport, top 8 every season you were there. Won the league 3 times with them. Wits, top 8 every season, win the league with them. How do you even do that?
I don't know. Muti. No, no look, there's certain things you work on the training grounds. There's certain things you want how the team to play. There's certain type of players that are available that you can bring in. So it's all to do with what you do. For me, it's all about preparation on the training ground.
I'm looking at you at Leopards here, and this season...
Where'd you get that now?
We've got it. We've got it. This is the SABC.
Okay.
In 2002, you were named ABSA Premiership Coach of the Season, coaching Black Leopards, because you took Leopards to 8th place. There was No one expected that. No one saw you coming. No one thought you would be coach of the season.
I didn't think so as well. I think the one thing about this coach of the season, they had coach of the month. You used to get cases of beers. I had 72 cases of beers at home. These days you get a little trophy. That was good.
But against all odds. Against all the bigger clubs, against all of that, you got them to 8th position that season.
This team, we were second in the league at halfway, second. And David said to me, David Tadela, no, we're going to win the league. I said, David, win the league. The closer we can just try. You can see the guys. I mean, we didn't have training kit or nothing. And this was one of the greatest achievements I've had as a coach, to take a bunch of players from this rural area and to travel on aeroplanes, stay in hotels, and
it was all brand new.
Brand new, you know, and get them to work it and shape and balance and patterns and whatever you want to talk
Then
about.
you go to Swallows after that successful season there. So just one season and Gav, you're off.
Well,
like, I've had enough. Cheers. Got you to top 8. I'm gone.
well, I said to David, if you'd have made me sign 6 months earlier, I would have signed. But nothing happened until the last game. And obviously Swallows got hold of me and said, look, we'd like you to come. And I thought, well, you know, we just keep a car coming down the N1.
Getting covered closer to Josie.
Yes,
and then 5 years.
And the temperature goes down as you come closer, you know.
5 years with them, every season, top 8 finish.
Yeah, I'll never forget my first game at Swallows. We lost 5-0. 5-0 against Orlando Pirates at Rand Stadium in the top 8. Those big gogas, those mamas, they chased me with kiddies, and Junior the kit man, I got under the boot of the car with a kit on top of me. They got me out the stadium. I said, yo, how long am I going to last here? And I lasted 5 years. They came to the training ground. They chased me at the training ground.
But Gav, you can't run away from a
No, don't run me. No.
Koko.
But not 1, not 2, not 3, 10. And they were big, you know, those big ones.
So that gave you that
They
motivation.
need 3 taxis for 5 of them.
The motivation was there for the rest of your time.
Boss, let me tell you, I ran. They came with those big kiddies chasing me.
But you had a great time there. Eventually took them to cup finals.
Yeah, we had 2 cup finals. And you know, the good thing there at Swallows is, Tom, we sold players. So we kept the money in the club, and we kept, obviously the thing afloat. And we had a great sponsor. I think it was Total at that time. And we had a good team. We actually had a good team. We went over 30 games at Rand Stadium unbeaten one stage.
To see that former club of yours where it is now.
That's sad. You know, and I bought into a little bit of the philosophy there. You know, C. Nongobenis and these guys, I mean, they need their own ball. You know, the other 10 would play with another ball. He would never pass. And you know, we got him to play a little bit more forward and more thinking. And you know, we had a good, I tell you now, we had a good side there. Good side. You know, I brought, and there again, I took in a Dennis Lotte. Pirates kicked him out. Didn't want him. Top goal scorer in South Africa, 2 years. He got 12 and 13, I think, in 2 seasons with us. And we took all the old rejects from Pirates, Ian Chukoya, Warren Lewis, players like that. You know, Jabu Mendo was walking the streets 3 months later in the Bafana team. So, you know, that's how I built the team, just finding players and trying to build a team there.
Gavin, let's talk a little bit about the home form, because I was looking at it. Home form this season was the difference for Bidvest Wits. 12 wins in 15 games at home.
Well, I would like to think that every team that plays in the Premier League, ABSA Premier League, wants to concentrate on their home games, more so, because that's where home is home. So, yeah, we had a good thing going this year, but I think we've been good there the last couple of seasons.
But Wits used to travel. I mean, it used to go play in Mbombela home games. You used to go around, take some of the bigger clubs away.
Before I came to the club, we had a bit of discussion, and I said, look, for me, home is home. We've got to stay at home. We've got to stay in one base and try and create something there. And thank goodness they listened to me. And we prioritise playing at home as we've done.
But you cost the club money, because it pays money to go to those other places.
Tom, what's more important, 3 points or money?
No,
you've got to have a balance.
The rumour is they pay up to $1 million for a team to come and play in one of these stadiums.
No, you know the story. No, listen, the World Cup stadiums are always viable for teams to go play. A lot of teams did. I was at Supersport. We played at Polokwane. You know, I mean, it's actually madness. But I understand where the teams come from. They need the backing from the municipalities and all that to bring the teams there. But at the end of the day, for me, you've got to play at home better.
The thing that everyone wants to know now is the future. Because there was that story and it's been going around. Your contract came to an end. It comes to an end at the end of June. That's not necessarily the case, is it?
No, we've agreed now to go another year, and so we're happy. Everybody's happy, and we'll go another year.
1 more year at Bidvest Wits?
Yeah, see what happens.
Gav, one of the things, and it came up in social media as well, where people were saying, you know, there's the so-called big clubs in South Africa. Do you not ever think of moving to one of those and saying, I'd like to win a league title there? You've done it with SuperSport United. You've done it with Bidvest Wits.
Well, certainly, I don't care what anybody says. It certainly will be easier. I don't care what anybody says. You've got all the backing, supporters. You know, you generally, the 3 clubs in South Africa always have generally the best players, generally. So it's got to be far easier if you understand and know what you're doing in terms of football. But there's obviously bigger pressures there in terms of more expectations. But I like expectations. I like pressure. I like to sign big name players, or if I could, and work with the best players, because I think we could be successful.
Gav, last question before we go, and that is number 5. Is next season ABSA Premiership number 5, and the second one for Bidvest Wits with you at the helm?
Sure, Tom, it's not going to be easy. I mean, I think everybody's a little bit upset that it's come second and third, and they're going to be trying like hell, like you expect every season. And I think there's more teams now. I think you add a Cape Town City, you add a SuperSport, and I think a team like Orlando Pirates will get better next year. They've got to. So it's going to be, won't be easy just to. What you're going to have to do is you're going to have to be a little bit clever where we really go and where we hold and these type of things. And through the course of the season, you've got to be lucky with injuries. You've got to try and keep your best players on the field as long as possible for the most games, and then I think you've got a half a chance.